What drove you to go to Washington, D.C. and talk to Dana Rohrabacher and in a sense, introduce yourself to him?
Well, this issue is important to myself and my family, and as well as my community, and it's something that had to be done because, you know, our community is in need right now, and, you know, if we don't speak out on our issues and let people know what our struggles are, then no one will know.
What are your struggles? What is it that people in Washington, D.C. need to know about you and your family, the situation that you find yourself in?
We're not criminals. We're here. You know, my parents brought me here with the idea of a better life and continue. And I'm pursuing that by going to college.
How did it feel when you were making that case in front of Congressman Rohrabacher? And how did you react when you got a strong reaction from him?
It's very hostile. And it was disrespectful. But now I've learned, and I've grown as a person because of that experience, and I'm glad to bring it back to my community and share with them because we all go through the same struggles. So we're a community and we're together.
It's disappointing to have any elected official, a public servant, to take a young college student and suggest that we should oppress conversation through, you know, an emotional reaction, indeed a visceral reaction to her plea not only for citizenry, but to be a part of the American dream that underwrites his lifestyle, that underwrites his mortgage, that underwrites the very basis that this country was established on. Certainly the Republican Party, as well as the Democratic Party, must embrace new reforms. And in that reformation, I think the country prospers. It certainly becomes the country of civility, not the country of oppression.
What's your sense as a young person going and seeing that up close, that that's your politics?
Like I said, it's very hurtful, especially because of the fact that the way he reacted, and he was so disrespectful and rude and bullying me and just calling me an illegal alien, like I'm a human being as well. And as a young person, it's hard to take that in because the world kind of just opened up to me, and to see that it brings reality back to life, because not everyone is gonna agree with me. But like the pastor said, you know, that doesn't give anyone the right to disrespect you, no matter how much they disagree with you.
We're no longer in the 17th century. We are dealing with 21st century reality, and the reality is we're all here to stay. We're not going anyplace.
This is my home. Like, I've grown up here since I was 3. Like, I have no other place than Costa Mesa in California. And, you know, I've gone to school here. I've gone to church here. I've played in the parks here. This is my home and my family's home.
The challenge, that I think, is this great fear. And for her to have the courage to stand up, it really represents what we as this Judeo-Christian society is all about. You know, if we can't learn to love our neighbor as we love ourselves, then do we really love God? I thought being created equal was a part of our country, yet it reminded me, I'm 58, it reminded me of what Martin Luther King and Cesar Chavez had to go through, where you would prefer to create fear and point fingers and suppress conversation versus having a public dialogue. The failure of Martin Luther King, the failure of the civil rights movement in the 50s and the 60s, and I would even say the 70s, is that the African American community did not embrace the Latino community, the Hispanic community. And when we walk the halls of Washington, D.C., we should have walked the halls together. And now we must hold hands and say, yeah, if you mess with her, you mess with us. And if you mess with us, we are not afraid to speak back to you. And we will change the community. We won't cry, but we will march to make a difference in this community.
It's daily life fear that we have to live with. Even walking out of my door is fearful for me.
Right.
And I put myself in that position because, like I said, it's something we need. And I don't want to live the rest of my life with fear. I don't want my little brother to live with fear. I don't want my parents to live with fear. I don't want my community to live with fear. And walking to Congress, yes, it was scary. But there's better things to come, and it had to be done. And I wanted to sit down and talk with legislators about a pathway to citizenship for 11 million aspiring Americans like myself. And you know, they're not, it's not just a Hispanic issue. It's a country issue.
Did you talk to other Republicans that had different opinions, that was different? Did you get a sense that not everybody is Dana Rohrabacher on that side of the aisle?
At the same time, actually the same day that I was meeting with Rohrabacher, my organization was having a meeting here in California with a Republican, and it was completely different. It was just completely different. They were very respectful, and they acknowledged them as human beings, as a way that we should be acknowledged.
Well, they did not agree with what we had to say.
Right.
But they did hear what we had to say. There was no name calling or finger pointing or red faces.
What do you say to the most conservative Republicans who say this is rewarding illegality, this is ignoring the rule of law, people came here illegally and they should not be rewarded?
The reality is that not only have my friends who are undocumented help make our country better and help contribute to the tax bases and have caused more good than harm, that we must not close our ears, close our eyes, and then speak with venom. But we must embrace some new thought. And that new thought says is, let's not be afraid to dialogue.
My parents brought me here, again, for the American dream.